Okay, Tarkov 1.0 is finally out. It's time to see what they've added, and also what they've fixed. Upon booting up the game, you have the usual start of choosing from each of these Russian supermodels, but then it throws you straight into a tutorial without any warning. I will say I did love the cutscene though. Apparently you could loot all of the stuff that was available in this level when it first released, which I was unaware of. And naturally, BSG being the gods of foresight that they are, decided to put a LEDX in there, which I did not pick up, along with a few other things like the MPX at the start. And I'm not sure if you can die during this tutorial, but I didn't trust it. What the fuck? And yes, I stood on the fucking landmine. Back in the menu, the first thing I noticed is that all of the maps are locked again, but this time we can unlock them by following the new story quest. So I just began by doing a few of these, since all they required was a simple extraction. And surprisingly enough, pretty much every raid was boringly successful. Having barely ran into a single player, I assume most were just also extracting for the storyline to unlock the maps. Even Ground Zero was surprisingly quiet on the first day, and I quickly progressed onto some woods quests, one being a storyline to find the crashed plane. And after a slight setback, I did actually manage to get this done relatively quickly as well. Moving on to Shoreline, I actually ended up getting the God Spawn for the storyline quest. I needed a bit of time to Google where this thing was, because I couldn't fucking find it. But of course, some fiend has to turn up first. I didn't even loot that guy, I just wanted to cheese it before someone else turned up. At this point all was just going too well, so I decided to do some Ground Zero quests, and that quickly put a stop to that feeling. Beginning to map my arse, absolutely brutal to try and cross these stupid choke points that they created. And fuck burning rubber as well whilst we're at it. But anyways, I did end up getting my quest done there as well, so I moved on to some Shoreline to find the terminal. Find it I quickly did, since I spawned right next to it. However, I was unaware of the changes BSG had made. Oh, fucking scared the shit out of me. Oh, fuck! Alright then. So I went back with a pistol and completed that nonsense with the douchebags on the intercom. By this point I had kind of had enough with the story quest, so I decided to start focusing on side quests and scav runs for hideout items. And during these raids I began to notice there was a bit too much gear floating around. I know I'm not the best player in the universe, but for fuck's sake, it makes early wipe quests like Tarkov Shooter and setup so much more miserable when you just get cut down by people who you don't really have a chance against. And I think there's a few reasons for this happening so early wipe, beginning with the bosses. Somehow, shockingly enough, after years of testing, we're still for some reason seeing Killer and Tagilla have these absurd spawn rates. And they just get farmed, since they have these guaranteed high-end armour and helmet drops. They can't just be nerfed on their own, since they need that equipment to be the formidable bosses that they are. On top of this, BSG couldn't help but resist the temptation of another Twitch drop event for 1.0. And in the process, flooded the game with face masks, tier 4 helmets, and even some Altons and maskers in there too. Taking away the ability for scavs and players in low end gear to land that all important shot to the face that would generally bring down any one early wipe. A little bizarre considering how much BSG has always flaunted the chance to get shot in the head and die at any time as a core part of the game's ability to help build tension and fear. Another strange decision was they decided to throw away the tried and tested method of closing the flea market and limiting the traders for the first month that they used last wipe, which actually did a good job in preventing experienced players from just speeding ahead. Now instead, BSG in their omniscience decided to use 1.0 to try out level locking the flea market by categories, which once again just creates this ridiculous arms race amongst the community, where everyone just speeds through the quests as quickly as possible to unlock the traders and more of the flea market. And the main excuse I'm seeing for these problems this wipe are that it's going to be a permanent character of some kind, which the people making these comments seem to be strangely confident in, as if anyone enjoys the M61 head nape off spawn experience that comes with playing this game after a couple of months of each wipe cycle. And along with this, there's this prevailing attitude that giving out drops allows new players to compete with experienced players, which is just not the case, since most players will just sell it all. Meanwhile, teams of experienced players roam around the map in cargo shorts and face masks, hoovering up bosses and gear from solos whilst powering through the quests on easy mode. So for this wipe, unless they make some serious changes, can't see many ordinary people wanting to stick around and keep playing this. Nor can I see new players up for stepping into a wipe that's months old, populated only with prestige grinders and streamers. Anyways, even after all this complaining, you can still have fun, since if you do manage to kill a player or two with some of this gear, you'll be rewarded highly. And the boss spawns at least give plenty of opportunity for loot, gear and DXP, even whilst death EXP is absolutely pitiful. I just hope in the future Tarkov returns to a more frugal economy that sensibly balances out a wipe from beginning to middle and then end. But naturally, if BSG decide to change something and you don't like it, then, well,
tough.